things developing in Brussels about the proposed deal and summit with the UK. Let's go back to our Europe correspondent, Mark Stone. Mark.
Adam, good morning. Yes, so we were speaking a few minutes ago talking about the fact that a new version of the political declaration, that is the future relationship, was being worked on. Well, here it is. It's leaking like a sieve here in Brussels, and we have a copy of it here. What is interesting is it is now 26 pages long. This was the original document that was published last week, the first version of the political declaration for the future relationship, to give it its proper name. That was just 7 pages long. We've been saying all week that the desire by both sides, frankly, but really in Mrs May's interest, was to flesh out the detail in this 7-page document and turn it into something much more detailed, which would make it less likely that the unpalatable stuff in the longer withdrawal divorce deal, things like the Irish backstop, the all-UK customs union, less likely that those would come into force. And I'll admit I haven't read it all yet. We are going through it at the moment. But the suggestion, presumably, will be that this document is, because it's now 26 pages long, it has in it much more detail about what that future relationship will look like. Donald Tusk is the president of the European Council. He has now sent this document to the capitals of the 27 remaining members of the EU. The way it works is that the Commission, the negotiators on both sides, on the British side and on the EU side, have been working on this document, and I know that they were still working on it last night and that they worked through the night since Mrs May's meeting yesterday. So they worked on this document through the night. They have now published it. The Commission has handed it to Donald Tusk over at the Council. He has distributed it to the 27 remaining members of the EU. They will now look at it, but he says that the Commission President has informed me that it has been agreed at negotiator level and agreed in principle at political level, subject to the endorsement of leaders. So unless there are yet more flies in the ointment from the likes of Spain or France, then this is it. This is the document, along with the fat 585-page document that will be signed off by leaders on Sunday. I should say, too, that it looks as though there's been no changes at all to the long document, which is what we expected, that they wouldn't want to reopen that. They've just put more details into this document.